Picture this. A samurai is living in the woods and between animals. Suddenly, he finds himself living with 4 cute girls. How do you think he acts? Yoichi is 17 years old and lived his entire life in the mountains, training for Uchiha Divine Wind-styled swordplay, and currently has nothing more to learn from his father. And because Yoichi has become stronger and far more skilled than his father, so he sent him to a dojo in the city to experience the city's life. And man, Tarzan ain't got nothing on him. He was ignorant about all kinds of civilization. It's enough that he went walking around wearing like a samurai, but he's carrying a wooden sword with him. He's supposed to meet with Ibuki Ikaruga and her sisters, who are the successor of their dojo, but he gets lost. He starts wandering around the mall and falls into these awkward situations where he meets the 4 sisters eventually and goes to live with them in the dojo. Man, a single guy living in one house along with 3 grown-up girls? Nothing can go wrong there. Yoichi goes to school, which was very different from the one he used to go to in the mountains. Over there, he got squirrels and raccoons. But over here, he got miniskirts and cute girls. So good luck coping with this big change. Ibuki notices Yoichi being questioned by female students, takes him out in the hall, and beats him once again. Wait a minute, is she jealous already? It hasn't even been a single day, and she's trying to control something she doesn't own. Washizu here, after knowing that Yoichi is living with Ibuku, gets jealous and challenges him to a duel, and we both know how that ended. Apparently, from the wild to the city is a big change, so Yoichi had a fever due to that change. Ayame tried to prepare a meal for him, but she sees him with Ibuku, so she gets upset and runs away without giving him the meal. Women. I mean, should he use telepathy to understand your intentions? Yoichi sees Ayame and runs after her, and eventually eats the meal she made. I think we're about to see a love triangle here, where clearly you can see the loser. I'm not gonna guess, but her name starts with Ayame, and she has a flat chest. Tsubasa Tsubame, a clumsy and shy girl, is trying to defeat Yoichi to get a prize set to defeat him, but actually just wants to have a normal school life. She transfers into the same school, and no one can blame Yoichi for commenting on Tsubase's cuteness, except for, Ibuki, who I think is in love with Yoichi as well as her little sister, so nothing can go wrong there either. Tsubasa has a cute assistant, Angela, who is said to be 16 years old, but come on, hormones don't do that much. Angela forces Tsubasa to strip off her clothes. Apparently, the more she is shy and feels ashamed, the more powerful she becomes. But she runs into Washizu, who has a crush on her at first sight, and he covers her with his jacket. You may say, oh, how noble, but Washizu was thinking that Ibuki will be frustrated if he saw a half-naked girl, but she couldn't care less. Tsubasa tells Angela that he's tired of his martial arts life, and Angela puts her wrath on Yoichi, but he gives her that big Naruto-like lecture on how to do better, blah blah blah. Eventually, Tsubana and Angel start working at a restaurant as a fresh start. Chihaya, the sister with green hair... Okay, I'm confused here. Each sister has a different hair color? I mean, you got blonde, the purple, the blue, and the green? I mean, get another one with red hair and you'll be like the Teletubbies. She decides to get Yoichi's opinion on her manga, so she invites him to her room, shows him the manga, and starts seducing him. But Yoichi, being a good guy, rejects the offer, and meanwhile, you can guess who walked into Chihaya's room. Ibuki, and she beats him, of course. Yoichi takes Chihaya's notebook, which she forgot to take to school. He overhears boys talking bad about Chihaya and beat the hell out of them. Yoichi gets a letter from Yui asking him on a date. Ibuki decides to take Yoichi on a date to practice, but actually, she's jealous. The two go to the mall, and guess who sees them there? That's right, Ayame, and the other 2 sisters are spying too. Is there no privacy here? And while walking together, Ibuki trips into a fountain, and Yoichi tries to help her, but he falls too. Oh, man, the lucky bastard. How come he falls into these kind of situations all the time? Man, I'm in my 20s now, and I haven't had an accidental situation like this. I mean, come on. Yoichi meets with Yui after Ibuki went to get the drinks, and he rejects her. Yoichi, you may be a jungle boy and have been deprived of that kind of female, but you did something none of us can do. You rejected a cute girl. You idiot! You idiot! But as it seems, Yui doesn't like Yoichi. She just wants to defeat him and get the prize. But she fails after Yoichi tears her clothes and she ran away. Washizu decides to send Ibuki a lover letter, confessing his love. But the idiot put in the wrong closet. And prepare your laughs because he put it into Yoichi's closet. Yoichi didn't get the letter and thinks that Washizu is interested in learning martial arts. Man, you got away from a really awkward situation. Pay attention next time. Meanwhile, an assassin is assigned to kill Yoichi, so the events are about to get really heated. Washizu goes to Ibuki's dojo, where they meet her 4 students. He was happy being able to see Ibuki all the time, but Ibuki assigns Yoichi to teach him, so you can feel his frustration. Yoichi and Washizu decide to do push-ups, but because Washizu is challenging, they reach up to 1,000 push-ups. And fellas, with hard work come the prizes. And Washizu's prize was getting fed by Ibuki. So work hard and all your dreams may come true. Psych! That only happens on TV, so good luck! While having fun, Yoichi has no idea that a very strong assassin is coming for him. So Yoichi, be aware. But apparently being strong doesn't make you good with directions. The strong and mighty assassin, Wasan, got lost. The 4 girls along with Yoichi, how can he live with 4 girls? I'm only watching and I counted him with them. Went to a private beach after winning a lottery ticket, along with Tsubasa and Angela and Ibuki's 4 students. Meanwhile, 2 weird-looking brothers are assigned to defeat Yoichi. They even use a seagull to attack. Man, I don't even want to know how they train them birds. Everyone goes into the water except for Kagome, who says she's afraid and runs away. And Masashi, one of Ibuku's students, follows her. She falls into a trap and breaks her fall by landing on Masashi. They try to get out until they reach a cliff facing the sea. Masashi falls but is saved by Kagome. Wait, didn't she just a minute ago say she's afraid of water? What gives? Eventually, Yoichi and the rest of the group find them. But at that moment, the 2 weird brothers greet the group on surfboards, and they challenge Yoichi. Man, you can guess that he kicked their asses quickly. Kagome confesses that she is not afraid of water, but is embarrassed by her budding breasts. Washizu meets with Ayame in the supermarket, and they argue about who takes the last juice. Some gang members see and decide to take Ayame to threaten Washizu with her. They thought she's his girlfriend. Anyway, the gang goes to the dojo and takes Ayame, and then takes off her clothes in front of Washizu and takes pictures of her. Douchebags. Man, I hope they get their asses beaten. Fearing for Ayame and everyone in the dojo, Washizu didn't move and let them beat him. Suddenly, Yoichi interferes and helps him to kick their asses. Ibuki comes and sees her dear little sister like that. And you know who's to blame? That's right, the one who's lucky enough to fall into these situations accidentally. Yoichi. So, she beats him up. When Yoichi hits the Washizu for daydreaming, he runs out of the dojo and shouts his confession to Ibuki, which Ayame overhears and thinks is for her. It's a misunderstanding that can be solved easily because it's the first time anyone chooses Ayame over her sister. It was a big deal for her, even if she loves Yoichi. They all decide to go to the festival that night and decided to spread. So, they should pair up. It was Washizu's idea, so he was ready and made Torigaya pair him up with Ibuki. Choose your friends carefully. You wouldn't want your friend to miss the number 6 as a 9, while your life is depending on it. Eventually, Washizu is paired with Ayame and Yoichi with Ibuki. The Saginomiya clan siblings plot against Yoichi. Yoichi meets the elder brother wearing a fox mask or something like that, and then the sister wearing the same mask, where Ibuki wins a free trip to the hot springs. While arguing, Washizu told her that the confession was for her sister, and he wouldn't like a flat-breasted girl anyway. Ouch! Washizu, man, I know you're frustrated, but damn, you should not say that. But he immediately apologizes and helps her to be with Yoichi, even if it was just for a while. Yoichi and the group go to the hot springs. They have dinner and hear this old lady nagging about the lack of guests and blame it on the ghosts. Yoichi, along with Ibuki, volunteered to get rid of the ghosts, immediately after Ukyo and his sister, Sakon, release a sleeping gas throughout the inn. Anyway, the two go to the woods and are ambushed. Yoichi meets Ayame, who followed them after they left, and she starts saying weird stuff. To sum it up, she's trying to seduce Yoichi, and she even put his hand on her breast. Ibuki wakes up with Ukyo in front of her, and he tries to be friendly. Apparently they were some sort of childhood friends, and he makes her see Yoichi with Ayame lying on top of him. Ibuki, reasonable girl as she is, says it's no way that this is her sister, and as it appears, it's Sakon, Ukyo's little sister, and Yoichi didn't fall for it either, as when he touched her breast, it was big, so he knew this girl is not Ayame. Ukyo releases a sleeping gas and takes Ibuki with him, and as Yoichi follows them, he faces assassins. And my, oh my, if it wasn't that mighty assassin that was supposed to kill Yoichi, but got lost. Yoichi, R.I.P.
Nice.
Psych! He's a wimp. He's defeated by the flat-breasted Ayame. The two find Ibuki, but damn, Ibuki was different. Man, I know that the show must have done some sort of twists on it, but making Ibuki act like a 4-year-old girl, man, that's just lame. Because of the Saginomiya siblings' sleeping gas, apparently, Ibuki's mind reverts to when she was 4 and fails to recognize everyone. But the harsh thing is, she didn't recognize Kagome, her little sister. Ukyo and Sakon arrive at the dojo proposing the Ikarugas a first-class celebrity lifestyle in exchange for Ibuki. I mean, for me, it was fair enough. I mean, dealing with a big girl acting like a little brat? Or living like royalty? I mean, you see, the two scales don't match there. Ukyo forces Yoichi to learn swordcraft with Angela. Meanwhile, the bad guys stun Washizu and kidnap Ibuki. Seeing Kagome crying about Ibuki gave everyone the motivation to go after her. Yoichi and the others reach the Saginomiya's house, but they have some sort of river to cross. But fear not, ladies, Yoichi is here. He cuts a bunch of trees with his wooden sword and makes like a tiny little boat. Ukyo orders his little sister to chase Yoichi's group away, which she obviously doesn't like, but he has plans to marry Ibuki, so everything must go well. Go well. You're trying to marry a 4-year-old girl in the body of a teenager. Oh, and by the way, you kidnapped her. Despite all arrangements, Yoichi was able to get to Ibuki with the help of everyone. Angela, Tsubasa, even Washizu was there. Ibuki recovers her memory, but falls off of the roof. Yoichi and everyone tried to help her, as well as Ukyo, but it's useless as they all fell into the river. But they survived, so carry on. Yoichi, loving the city and the dojo, sends his father a letter saying he wants to stay. I mean, of course he loves the dojo. I mean, he's living with 4 girls in the same house. What? Do you think he would prefer the wildlife? Give me a break.